I'm here with Pete Hines, and we're going to have quite a general conversation now, I think, about all things QuakeCon. It's from the keynote speech that you gave yesterday. It's clear that this is a very important event for you as a company, and it's obviously something that you enjoy as well. So I'd just like to kind of find out a little bit more about your role in the event, and why you keep coming back, and why you keep making such an effort to kind of engage with your fans this way.
Sure. This is the 21st QuakeCon. This is my 8th. This is the 8th one since Bethesda acquired id. And I think our role since then, since we sort of came on board, was to basically lend whatever support and help we could to help QuakeCon be a better version of itself. We didn't want to come in and start changing anything or to change what it was about, but use it as an opportunity to connect with fans and maybe show some stuff we had in development that we haven't shown everybody else yet, or use it as an opportunity to make announcements or release a trailer or whatever. But it's embracing what this show is really about, which is it's a celebration of games. That's how it started from its grassroots beginning, is people just coming together because of a love of a game and a studio, and we've just tried to build on that and foster that, and I think that's what makes it great.
It's got a unique atmosphere. This is my first time here, and I've been bowled over by how relaxed and how pleasant it's been, and what a unique crowd you've got here. Little anecdote, I left my iPad just sitting out by the Doom guy downstairs for about 15-20 minutes before I realised, and it was still there waiting for me. Mm-hmm. It really does have its own unique flavour within the gaming calendar, I would say. Yeah, I mean it's a great community. They're terrific people. It's very much I think when people hear QuakeCon, they think hardcore PC gamers bunkered down in a dark BYOC, but the show is about a lot more than that. You'll see tons of families walking around here, people with kids in strollers, or little kids who are 8, 9 and are coming to their 5th or 6th QuakeCon. It's meant to be inclusive. It's meant to be fun, friendly, and safe for no matter how you experience games or what you want to play. That this is a place you can come and play some, find out more about what folks are up to, play some games, watch some really talented people compete, whatever your interests are. Okay, so looking more broadly at the current situation for you as a company at the moment, Bethesda seems to be in a really strong place at the moment. Would you say that's a fair description? Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about sort of how the last year has gone, from our first E3 showcase and all the stuff that we talked about there, and how well we've executed on all those things, and then sort of looking at what we're working on that you guys know about, and all the things we have in the pipe that we're not talking about it yet. I feel really good about where we are as a company. Okay, so next up on the release calendar for yourselves is the remastered version of Skyrim. How's that coming along, and what can you tell us about that development? And as a sub-question to that, we had a hands-on today with Fallout VR and Doom VR. Are there any plans to maybe look at VR for the Elder Scrolls franchise at all?
Well, to answer your first question, the remaster is coming along. So we're on track for end of October for Xbox One and PS4, and for PC. Although if you already own the PC game plus all the DLC, then you'll get this for free. If you don't, then you buy it just like any other game. And it's a remaster. We're not adding a bunch of new content or additional DLC. We're obviously adding mod support and trying to upgrade and improve the performance to run on current gen consoles. But for us, it was a chance to take a very beloved title and bring it to this generation. For a lot of folks who are like, hey, I'd still like to play some more Skyrim. Is that possible? And then obviously the ability to bring mods to the console, as we have with PS4 and Xbox One, is a great opportunity as well. As far as VR, I think all of our studios continue to look at VR as a possibility for the stuff that they're working on and where it's a good fit. Yeah, I think you'll see us announcing some projects in the future, but it is not it's not a blanket thing that we say, okay, VR is the thing we're now doing, so Arcane, where's your VR game? And Tango and Machine Games and Bethesda Game Studios, we talk to each studio about what they're working on, what's a good fit, what's not a good fit. and go from there. So beyond the Fallout game we've announced, and the Doom demo that we've got down there, what other projects we do for VR is still TBD.
Okay, so speaking of other projects, we've got Fallout Shelter, which has recently come to PC. You've just gone into open beta with The Elder Scrolls Legends. Would it be fair to say that this is kind of a strategy that you're going to pursue in kind of looking at alternative platforms and expanding ways that your community can interact with the franchises that they obviously enjoy so much in different ways?
I mean, in a general sense, yes. Obviously, Shelter and Legends were born out of two different initiatives. They really weren't related to one another. Shelter was really Todd Howard's idea for a mobile game that he wanted to make with his studio. Legends doesn't have anything to do with BGS. I mean, they're obviously aware of it, but they're not working on it in any way. But both of them coming to tablets and phones, and Shelter coming to PC. Obviously, they're different types of games maybe than folks are used to from us with Skyrim or a Fallout 4. But we've always wanted to look at other ways of doing stuff that again fit kind of who we are and our desire to do something, but maybe do our own take on it or a different take on it. And so much like with VR, it is it's part of the conversations that we have with our developers about what we're doing next, but it's not like, okay, now we need a mobile version for everything that we're doing, or a VR thing or anything else. That we sort of take it opportunity by opportunity. If we think we have a good idea and the right folks to make it, then we'll go down that path. So it's nice to have Shelter continuing to do so well on mobile, and to have Legends finally into open beta and working towards getting that out on tablets and phones. I mean, it's something that I've been working on for quite a while now, so it's fun to be able to play against somebody else other than the same people internally that I've been playing against for months and months and months.
Okay, so you seem to kind of have a really strong collection of studios now working as part of the Bethesda family. Is there a desire to kind of maintain your strength, or are you looking to maybe expand further, like down the line? As a kind of a company vision, is there a desire to kind of keep growing, or are you just really kind of focusing on what you've got at the moment?
I mean, I think we've been focused on what we've got for a while. After we acquired id, there was a short period of time there, and then in fairly close order, for different reasons in each case, we added Arcane, Machine Games, and Tango to our internal studios. But since then, we actually haven't done much, or we haven't done any acquisition. We did open the Montreal office for Bethesda Game Studios, but that's an extension of an existing studio and sort of adding some more dev bandwidth to that studio. But we don't really have an internal notion of, well, we need to grow by X% or add this many studios. Like, we continue to look at what we're working on, what are the things we want to work on, who do we want to work on with those. In the case of Legends, we're working with Direwolf Digital. They're an external studio, but they have a lot of expertise and great design capability in the card game space, and it was somebody we really wanted to work with, so that was an opportunity we moved forward with. So whether or not anybody else joins us, I honestly don't know. It's really just going to depend on the opportunity, who it is, and whether we feel like it's a good fit for us and for them.
Okay, so narrowing it down to one of the specific studios that we talked about, id, it feels like with Quake Champions, there's a real renewed focus on eSports again, and obviously that's the ideal title to do that. We've seen a lot of studios and publishers kind of make really conscious efforts to move closer towards the esports space, and is that something that you guys have been keeping an eye on? And you've obviously got some great IPs in terms of esports potential. Is that something that you're really aware of and that you want to kind of get more involved with?
Right. Well, I mean, we're at a show that was, if not the start of esports, it was certainly one of the pioneers in that respect. I mean, QuakeCon in all of its years has always been about competitive esports, shoutcasters and prize pools and so forth. Not on the level of some of the other stuff that's kind of moved into the into the mainstream and has these massive events and prize pools. But it's something that we've been involved in for a long time. Quake Champions was an opportunity that we had been talking about, doing something with the Quake brand, returning it to an online PC competitive title. In its DNA is that competitive esports aspect, so it was a pretty natural fit. But as we sit here finally showing it, this is sort of a culmination of stuff that we've been working on and talking about for years now. It just so happens that this is the time we felt like it was right to show it and talk about it. What else we do going forward, I think remains to be seen. I mean, I think Legends has some potential, just as somebody who plays it an awful lot, that it is a really fun, entertaining game to both play and watch. We have some ideas about supporting competitions and tournaments and so forth, but we'll have to see where all of that goes. Our goal with any of these things is always that it has to be a great game and a compelling game first. That the esports aspect only actually matters if people want to play the game and want to watch other people play the game. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what your prize pool is or whether you have esports, as your first bullet point. Nobody's going to play and nobody's going to care to watch. So we're going to continue to make sure we're focusing on making really good games and the ones that seem to be a good fit and become more viable as esports titles. That's great.
Okay, so you said earlier that you've had a big year leading up until now. Can we expect another big year from you in the months to come?
I hope so. I mean, our goal, you talked before about like what are our plans for growing or expanding, or like where do we want to go. What we want to continue to do is to execute better on the stuff that we do. So whether that's from a development standpoint, taking the learnings of the last title that studio shipped and applying it to making the next game even better, or as a publisher doing things better or smarter to bring the games to fans, or the ways in which we communicate and get folks excited, like the showcase, being an example of something that I wanted to do to show what we were doing to everybody all at once, as opposed to only small select groups. I think we're just trying to get better and better at what we do, and so hopefully with Skyrim Remastered and Dishonored 2 and Legends going from open beta and releasing on tablets and phones, with Prey, Quake Champions, like we have a lot of stuff, and all of our success is riding on our ability to execute on all of those things. Like otherwise it's just potential that went unfulfilled. So yeah, our goal is to have this be a really successful year by focusing on the stuff that we're working on, and then getting the stuff that's kind of under wraps right now, getting all of that stuff ready for its moment in the spotlight.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for lending us your time, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, have a good QuakeCon.